am now joined by Nigel Chanakira, CEO of Kingdom Financial. Thanks very much for speaking to us. So we saw there in my report an example of those who haven't been able to benefit from investment that is coming into Africa, those who are still living in poverty. When are things going to change for them?
I think obviously the trickle-down effects are beginning to manifest now. For example, the penetration in terms of mobile telephony in countries as poverty-stricken, say as Zimbabwe. I mean, we have up to 3.5 million more subscribers this year. That's almost a third of the population in terms of that. And on the back of that, clearly, the capacity to move money and do financial transactions is made so much easier. So access to markets is therefore improving. And I can see the trickle-down benefits. There are trade links being formed. There's a new little company called Big Africa, which is an internet eBay type company. And clearly, that's all in the direction of moving trade.
It's interesting because e-commerce and telecommunications has been another key point under discussion during this conference. You mentioned Zimbabwe there. That country in the past has been described as the economic basket case of the region, if not the world. Give us your insight into the outlook of this country. Are you confident looking forward?
I think certainly, I mean, we can talk about the lost decade in terms of Zimbabwe. We lost 10 years in terms of what was going on in our country. But clearly, with effect from February 2009, we've dollarized, and that's truly stabilized the situation. All we can do now is plan and go forward. And clearly, our corporates, the listed entities, for example, are very focused on recapitalizing themselves. And the appetite for financial recapitalization is there. And clearly, Zimbabwe will be, in the next decade, amongst the top performers in terms of GDP.
What about, though, the constraints on growth? How much would potential investors perhaps be put off by things like legislation, for example, requiring 51% ownership of all enterprises?
I think clearly that is a limiting factor because we are, I guess, on the edge of the precipice, as it were, to fly off, and one wonders whether, in fact, we will not plunge down because of, what is taking place. But clearly, in my perspective, if you look at countries...
So the risks are too high for investors?
No. Look at companies like Zimplats, the platinum companies, the diamond companies, the telephone companies. They certainly are doing well, in an unfested environment. I think there's been a lot of negative media publicity around that. And those that have cared to come closer and invest have actually stood to benefit.
Well, CEO of Kingdom Financial, Nigel Chanakira, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.